Good morning, student. Today we are going to introduce chemistry chapter 1, that is matter in our surroundings. First of all, what do you mean by matter? Matter is a substance which has mass and occupies space, that is called as matter. Means anything which occupies space and has mass. All these are matter. Matter, you take the example like pen, chair, table, notebook, sun, star, planet, air. All these are matter because all these have mass and all are occupy space. Matter is made up of small, or you can say that teeny particles. Now the next topic is the classification of matter. How the matter is classified in different way. According to Indian philosophers, matter are classified in the form of 5 basic elements. These are 5 basic elements: air, water, earth, sky and fire. These 5 basic elements is also called Panch Tattva. Next, classification on the basis of physical states of matter, or you can say that physical properties. Matter is classified into 3 types: solid, liquid and gas. Now the next classification is on the basis of chemical properties. Matter is classified into elements, compounds and mixture. Element and compounds are the pure substance. Pure substance means these are made up of only single kind of atoms. Mixture is homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous means composition is uniform, or you can say that same. In heterogeneous mixture, composition is not uniform. Now after classification, we will discuss the physical nature of matter. First is matter is made up of particles. Second, the particles of matter are very small. Third, you can say that the particles of matters have space between them. Fourth, particles of matters are continuously moving. Fifth, the particles of matter attract each other. Here we will discuss one by one. Now first is matter is made up of particles. With the help of an activity, we will discuss. Take some water in a beaker and note its level. Dissolve some salt or sugar in it with the help of a glass rod. The salt dissolves in the water, but the level of water does not change. This is because the particles of water get into the space between the particle of water. This shows that the matter is made up of particles. Now the second property is the characteristic of matter are the particles of matters are very small. Here we take the activity, that is dissolve 2 to 3 crystal of potassium permanganate, means KMnO4, that is purple in color, in 100 ml of water in a beaker. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water again. Repeat this process 5 to 6 times. This shows that a few crystals of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water because they are made up of millions of small particles in each crystal of potassium permanganate. It means this activity shows the particles of matters are very small. Next is the particle of matter are continuously moving. It means the particles have some kinetic energy. If kinetic energy increases with increase in temperature, then the particle moves faster. So we can say that the particle of matter are in a state of continuous motion. These particles have some kinetic energy. As the temperature increases, kinetic energy increases and the particle moves faster. This movement is minimum in solid because in solid less space is available, but more in liquid because some space are available in the liquid form, and in gases it is maximum because more of the space present in the gases particle. Next characteristics is the particle of metals having space between them. We have already discussed. In case of solid, space is minimum. In case of liquid, space is more. In case of gaseous particle, it has maximum space. Now, next characteristic is particles of matter attract each other. It means a force of attraction exists between the particles that is called as intermolecular force of attraction. This force keeps the particle together. And the force of attraction that takes place in a solid is maximum because molecules are close together. There is no space between the solid particle molecules. In case of liquid, intermediate force of attraction takes place. In gaseous particles, negligible force of attraction, so the gaseous particles move randomly because large space present between the particles. Here this is shown by an activity. Take an iron nail, a piece of chalk and a rubber band. Try breaking them by hammering, cutting or stretching. It is more easier to break the chalk particle, less easier to break the rubber band, and difficult to break the iron nail. This is because the particles in the iron nails are held together with greater force of attraction as compared to rubber band or chalk. Now the next characteristic is the particle of metals have a tendency to diffuse. Diffuse means intermixing of particles because particles have space between them, so they intermix each other. Intermix on their own with each other. Then this intermixing of particles of the two different types of matter on their own is called as diffusion. This process is called as diffusion. Now the next characteristics, the particles of matters have space between them, means the particles of matters have intermolecular space. It is shown by an activity, means take some water in a beaker and note its level. Dissolve some salt or sugar in it with the help of a glass rod. The salt dissolves in water, but the level of water does not change. This is because the particle of salt get into the space between the particle of water. So all these are the important characteristics of matter. Now the next is states of matter. Matters have three states on the basis of physical properties: solid, liquid and gas. Here you can see that in solid there is a very less space, but in liquid particles are have more space as compared to solid. In case of gases, the particles have more space as compared to liquid. Here the particles are move easily. In liquid, particles are less moving as compared to gases. In solid, particles are very less move. We take the example of solid. Sugar, sand, rocks, stones and metals like iron, copper, aluminium, gold, silver. All these examples are solid. In liquid, you take the example like water, milk, juice, oil, kerosene oil, petrol, alcohol, benzene. All these examples are liquid. Gases, you take the example of CNG, compressed natural gas, and LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Thanks.